Follow Cheap Not Broke on Instagram and TikTok at Cheap Not Broke.
Not Broke fam, what's happening, everybody? It's another Monday. You're back with Cheap Not Broke Live. Thank you all for tuning in. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Very much appreciated, very important. We need those likes and subscriptions. Tonight is the top. Some stuff on Instagram. Was digging back into my financial literacy stuff. I kind of feel like I gotten away from that. Reading the books, used to be out there reading all these books, following all these pages on top of my stocks, and I've gotten besides that, And I was listening to this guy. He's realizing, telling me like, hey, your job security is not real. Your job can let you go anytime. Are you going to have money? But in between, I was like, man, you don't think about that all the time. You get comfortable, get that job, get comfortable, check coming every 2 weeks. Feeling good all of a sudden, because let's think about it. You don't really look at the financials of the job. How you know if they're making money or not? A lot of people don't even check all that stuff. One day you're going in, everything is great. Then they say, hey man, we're gonna have to let you go. Like, what? Why? Sales are down, whatever. It could be whatever the reason. And that's it. You don't have no, it's not like being a football coach, college football coach. You losing. Sign a 6-year deal, 5-year deal. They got to pay you the rest of your contract. That's a whole nother situation. Could you imagine that? That's job security. Knowing you're going to get fired, you can get paid the rest of your salary. That's what's job security. But unfortunately, we don't have that. But I want to talk about that tonight because it's important. It's something to think about. It is something real, that it's a real thing, between jobs. If, you lose your job, or if you want to leave a job, can you make it to the next job? Do you have your emergency fund? Do you have everything paid off? You got your debts and stuff collect? You got your debts paid out? A whole bunch of stuff. And we're going to get into it. Reason why I want to get into it because, hey, I've been there a couple times. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I was working contract jobs, working for like the temp agencies. Yeah, staffing companies. And some of them jobs would last like 3 months, 2 months. And sometimes they let you go early. Come in on a Friday. Hey, get an email from the agency. This is it. We're going to let you go. That's it. And I'm like, dang. And then you don't have no money saved. It takes like a week or two to get to the next job. And then you got the week in the hole. Because I was getting paid every week. So you work a week, don't get paid. Then you get paid the following week. 2 weeks, you're in the hole for them 2 weeks. So that whole thing could be a little messy. But the thing is this. Your job don't owe you nothing. Okay. None of us. Listen, you work unless you're on a contract. You sign a contract for a salary. You're on a 2-week contract. You work 2 weeks, you get paid. You work another 2 weeks, you get paid. They send you the offer letter, right? But they don't necessarily have to pay you your salary. You might get your severance, get your vacation. That's it. You are out of there. And are you prepared for all that? Some people have never been fired. Some people got great jobs. Some people have jobs where they've been there 20, 30 years. Everything's been straight. That's a whole nother situation. And some people had a job hop. I know millennials nowadays, we got to do some job hopping. Good luck trying to stay somewhere 10, 15 years. I think the longest I've ever stayed anywhere, 2.5, maybe 3. No longer than that. If you watch, let me know. Have you stayed at a job longer than that? Not me. My job's it's always been like that from high school. Like, man, jobs has always been up and down. And if you do stay, they're not paying you. So it's like, oh, I like it here. It's great. Everybody's nice. The company's great. Man, my paycheck is short, baby. But everybody nice. Ain't that something? It's hard to find a place where you like everybody, love the job, getting paid well, and they continue to increase the pay over time. A lot of times they don't increase the pay. You start the job, and whatever they're paying you 2 years later, they're going to pay you that 2 years later. Unless you got a situation where, your company promotes from within. But most of the time when you sign up for that job, when you get hired, they don't have a salary step plan. Like, all right, work a year and a half. Now they have bonuses, Oh yeah, well you can get a 10% bonus. That's not guaranteed, and you don't get the numbers. You don't know how well the company's performing. So I don't. I mean, I know because I work in accounting, but a lot of people don't know how well the company's performing. So how do you know if the 10% bonus is a thing at all? And what is the 10% of? I don't know. You don't know. I'd rather keep that 10% bonus, increase my salary every 24 months or every year, whatever. Let's reevaluate. You go back in. You have your career performance evaluation. All that's great. How much are y'all gonna pay me? You don't know. And then think about getting paid. Getting paid, you got to go through your manager. Your manager is the one that's blocking you from getting that cash because they're the one you're the direct report. They're the one that sees you work all the time. I'm pretty sure HR don't see you work. They don't work in your department, but they're the ones that's gonna sign off on if you get that money or not. Your superior and all that stuff. So your manager can block you from getting that bread. Think about it. You got a manager, and you got a manager in your department. You might have one or two managers. Who knows the case? Them people not trying to let you jump ahead of them. They're not trying to jump you ahead of them. Some situations, not all, not all. Some situations you got a good manager. You have a great relationship. Everything's cool. They're trying to get you up. They're trying to get you promoted and move on. If that's what's in the company, I can be your manager. I want you to move up. Ain't nowhere for you to move to. We don't have nowhere for you to go. You can't jump ahead of me. I ain't gonna let you do that. Can't let you do that. You gotta go. And there you go. Then you're like, damn, we gotta get out of here. So not even sit. You're secure in the job, but you're not secure in the money. Like, dang, I work for money. We forget that sometimes. We work for money. You do work for the money. The job is the job, but I'm here for the money. If y'all ain't got the money, I am not coming. You're like, oh, you work for the company. No, I work for money. I work for such and such. I work for company ABC who provides the money. So if they ain't no money, I don't have no business here. There's nothing to discuss. So it's about the money, baby. It's about the money. And with the jobs and how these jobs work, they snatch the money from right up under you. And depending on what you do for a living, sometimes it'd be hard to find another job where you live. Because if you got a job where you're going in every day, you got to find something in your city. Now, if you work remote, that's cool. But then you got to compete with the other people who are working remote. And it's competitive to find a job. Sometimes finding a job is hard. It's hard. It's not hard. It takes time. I'm not going to say it's hard. You just apply and do the interview. It takes time. You got to apply. You got to get through round one. First off, you got to get an interview. Cool. Interview with HR. Great. Get through that round. Then you interview with like your direct manager. Then you get interview with the department manager. Usually 3 rounds, sometimes 4. You got to get through all those rounds and you got to compete with everybody. You got to compete. So what you going to do? What you going to do about that, man? You got to compete with new talent coming in at the job because they bring in new people and sometimes they're cheaper than you. Not sometimes. Well, sometimes it depends because you got to think about it. If you get hired at a position in 2020 and they hire somebody in 2022, I'm pretty sure the salary's gone up. They can't keep paying the same thing over the next 10 years. The salary got to go up. So that new person, if y'all in the same position, might make more money than you. Why? Not because they're better than you. It's because the market says so. Well, over the last 2 years, the position started out paying 60. We increased it every 5. So it's been 2 years. It's now 70. This new person's getting 70. You getting 60. And you don't know that because y'all don't talk about who's making what. So this person is making 70. You making 60. And then, like, dang, such. Y'all going along and messing around to get out how much you making. What? Hey, I've been here 2 years. I've been making the same thing. You came in and just made that? Oh, hell no. That becomes a problem. I'm doing more work than such and such. I train such and such. They can't make more money than me. No. Then you got to go. Is there a downside to job hopping? Is there a downside to job hopping? Yep, there is a downside to job hopping. Downside to job hopping is you don't know what you're walking into. You don't, because you interview, you don't really know what the position entails. You don't know, you don't know where the company is financially. You got to ask those questions. So there is a downside to job hopping because you just might run into a shit show. You might run into a bad situation. You might be making more money, but it might just be a little more stressful situation. You don't know. Some people don't really, the money ain't the biggest thing for them. Everybody, the money is not the biggest thing. Fair. Some people care more about environment. Some people care more about culture. So job hopping for them is about, I need to find better culture. I can make the same money. Some people, I'm not job hopping unless I make more money. So it depends on what reason you're job hopping. You want more money or you looking for a better situation culturally, or you like, well, you know what? I want to make more money, but I can make more money being closer to my family and I can get off work earlier, be home with my kids. I'll sacrifice 5 grand and make it on the back end doing something else. People do that. So there's ups and downs, the pros and cons to job hopping. I'll say this: if you're with a stable companies, now some companies been around for a long time. If you work for a big company, been around for a long time, there are opportunities to move up in some companies. I work for a lot of startup companies, a lot of small companies, not as much, and it'd be a whole lot of ups and downs because we're being funded by investor money, and you still have to prove the concept of a company. Meaning, yes, we have investor money. We're a nice new shiny car. We got to prove that we can run and run efficiently. Sometimes that don't happen. You're getting funded by investor money. Investors don't see the concept of the company working out. They stop investing. Company gets tight. They start laying people off. That happens. So that happens in my situation working for startup companies. However, on the flip side, startup companies they do pay you well. You can't come out the gate making big money. Startup company like, oh well, you're gonna be the first one in the department. We don't have anybody, so you're first. So we're gonna pay you this, and you get to write all the policies. You get to develop all the procedures. You can bring people in. Like, oh, that sounds great. But then you're doing all the grunt work because it's just you, so you gotta do all the work. So pros and cons, pros and cons. But the thing about it is, no matter where you at, unless you sign the contract, job is not safe. It's not safe. They can always let you go. Just because they haven't don't mean they can't. And then some people get too relaxed. You've been there 10, 12 years. Oh, this is great. You never know. You never know. And then you don't prepare for it financially. At the end of the day, you always want to be prepared financially to be let go. You're more than likely to increase your salary by job hopping. Damn right. Shout out to JoJo. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you, Shauna, for your comment. Yes, yes, you're more than likely you can to increase your salary, and that's why a lot of people leave for more money. Like you need more money because you got to think inflation is like 3%. Inflation is going up by 3%. You yourself might have different life situations, might have kids, bills might went up, you just might have some other stuff going on. You need more money, so you got to job hop. And the thing about job hopping, here's what I learned at my first job when I left. I was working at this company. I was working for like 2 years, and I was making like $20 an hour. I'm like, okay. And the work, I kept my job duties increased. I got promoted, but I didn't get paid. So it came around to like my year and a half mark, and I started inquiring and said, hey, are we going to do a performance evaluation? I would like to know if I'm eligible for a pay increase. Kept pushing it off, kept pushing off. Management changed, and when management changes, you're screwed because now you don't have nobody to vouch for your work. It's like, well, I've been doing all this stuff. We never did the performance evaluation. There's no notes there. So management changed, brought in new management. They didn't really know about my work or see my performance. So I'm trying to get these guys like, hey, man, can we get my work performance? I'm trying to see if I can make more money. Had a real cool boss. And, he went to bat for me. He's like, well, look, we can get the performance evaluation, but I can't necessarily guarantee you a raise. We'll have to do that and see. I'm like, ooh, well, I can't be put in that position because if I go in there for a performance evaluation and I don't get a raise, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit because it's like, look, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm here pissed off and you guys are like growing and the company's rapidly growing. I'm getting paid the same thing. And I've been here 2 years and my job duties have increased and my title has changed. So, ended up not doing the job, not ended up doing it. I ended up not going to the performance review. I said, you know what? Let me put in my 2 weeks notice because I can already tell the fact that you don't know if you want to increase my salary. I know I'm not valued here. I know I can quit this job and go somewhere else, and they'll pay me what I'm looking for out the gate. And just like JoJo said, the thing about job hopping, I get that money day one. I don't have to do a performance evaluation. Hope y'all like me. No, I get through the interview. Bam, let's get this money. I already see what the salary is. I already know what the step up in pay is because I agreed to the salary. You making what? You're making 70, 80? Well, I'm looking for 100 now. New job might, well, we don't think you, but we know based off your work performance, we only think you're worth 90. All right, cool. Well, these new people think I'm worth 100, 105, and they don't even know me. I'm out. And then you go on about your business, go get that money, baby. Sometimes you outgrow the job. You damn sure outgrow your pay. Everybody outgrows their pay. Life circumstances change, things in life change. You need more money. And how do you get it? You got to go find it. And it's not always the job security is they firing you. They just may not pay you no more. They be like, hey, look, we just don't see it in you. You want to move up to management? You want to be a supervisor role? They just don't see it in you. We don't see that. All right, I'm fine. Somebody else gonna see it and pay you. Now what you do? You get out and go get that bread. I'm out of here. I gotta go. I gotta go where I'm valued. I gotta get this money. They don't know what you got going on at home. They don't know you got this going on. You got student loans. You got a new car. Got a car payment now, or not even that stuff. I'm just trying to save more money so I can get the hell out and retire early. That's what you really want to do. You really want to have enough money saved so you can just do what you want to do. Now there are a lot of people out here that can not work for 6, 7 months. I was in that situation. And I had to get it figured out pretty quick because I didn't have a lot of money saved. I'm like, said, you tweaking 20, I'm tweaking 10. Well, I guess you better get your screen fixed, buddy, because I'm doing well over here, bro. But shout out to Gabe, appreciate you watching. But I had to get the situation figured out quick because I was like, dang, I'm gonna run out of money fast. I wasn't making that much money at the time. So when I left that job, $20 an hour, quit. Had money saved at the time, saved up money, got my severance package, left. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna quit. I'm gonna stack my money. Gave myself 6 months because it was, like a year and a half. I left at 2 years. I said, all right, cool. I kept going. Didn't put in my 2 weeks notice. I didn't put in my 2 weeks notice. So I had enough money saved up. I'm like, you know what? Let me not say anything because sometimes they'll fire you. They'll let you go. They know you want to leave early. They're like, all right, we're gonna let you go anyway. And what you about to do? Go get a lawyer and sue? Nope. That's gonna cost you too much money. Take too much time. So just keep it to yourself. Kept it to myself. My manager was teaching me some stuff. He's like, hey, look, this is what you need to know to get to the next position to get some more money. Stuck around, learned what I needed to know. I was out of there. Saved my money. And this is what I did. This is the best thing my manager told me to do. He said, quit and don't work for a month. Don't work. Figure it out. Take your time and pick the next job. Because every time I quit a job, I was so pressured to find money, I had to take whoever called first. This is the first time in my life I ever quit a job. And like, you know what? Let me see what I want. Not shit. I need to find some money before I get kicked out. I can't pay my rent. It was the first time I was able to do that. It took me 6 months. I stacked all my money, got up out of there. I walked out of there a couple grand, got my severance, had my vacation, and they paid me 2 weeks extra. I was straight. I quit and I flew to New York the next day for a week. And then I ended up getting a contract job the next Friday and I found another gig. So I was down. Oh, good. I was met with, what industry are you in? I'm in accounting. I work in accounting. And you would think accounting is a safe job. It's a very safe job. But here's what I know. This is what I did learn about accounting. Accounting is not safe because accounting is a non-revenue generating department. Accountants don't make the money. Sales makes the money. Other departments make the money. So they'll get rid of your ass first. Like, well, you know what? We can go hire some outside accountants and get rid of you because we don't have to pay your health care. We don't have to pay your medical. We don't have to pay anything. So we can go get rid of you, hire some contractors to come in and, keep the people who are actually bringing in money for the company. The higher up executives, they let them go, get rid of those salaries, and then they'll put the work on some of the people at the bottom, making you think, oh, well, listen, we're going to scale back, but we're going to give you the opportunity to move up. And they never do. You think you're going to move up, but actually they're never going to move you up. They just got you doing that money they got you doing the work for cheap and thinking like, okay, well, we just let such and such go. We're going to give you an opportunity and they'll fuck around, excuse my French, and bring somebody else in before you. That happened one time too. A vacancy was open and me and a couple people in the department, we thought, well, we can get the interview for the position. They brought us somebody else and filled the position. None of us interviewed. Now, in that situation, I didn't quit because I didn't quit. I didn't have the money to quit. I was mad though. Man, I was coming in upset. Like, man, how is this cat working ahead of, he working? I'm working for this person. I didn't even get an opportunity to interview for the job. And he's asking me a lot of questions. Like, how you do this? How you do that? I'm not going to get upset with him. He didn't do anything, but damn, I had to get up out of there. And like I said, if you're not getting treated fair, you get out. But the thing is, you do have to save some money, man. You do have to save some money. You can't just quit your job and walk off. Hell no, because you don't know how long you're going to be without the next check. When I quit, I was going to be good for at least 4 months. I had about 4 or 5 months. Now, this was 4 or 5 months, being able to pay everything, not going anywhere, not getting on no flights, not doing nothing, just getting everything paid, sitting still, and looking for the next gig. So I had about 4 or 5 months of that. It worked out. I found another job next Friday, found a contract job next Friday. I did that for a while, and then maybe 3 months later, I rode off into my next job, and it worked out. But I ended up quitting that job a year and a half, maybe 2 years later, because that job was crazy. It was crazy. They're paying me well, but listen, you don't know what you're walking into. You don't know what you're walking into. And yes, I was getting paid well, but they were working the hell out of me. I was working, man, I was working like 10-hour days, 10-hour days, like, yeah, so 60-hour weeks. Yeah, I was working about 60 hours a week. But my salary says 40. My salary's based off of 40. I'm working these 60 hours a week on salary. What happens when you work salary and overtime? You don't get paid. They don't pay you. All the hourly workers get sent home because they're on hourly. They get paid time and a half. Salary? Oh no. Get your ass back to work. I ain't agree with it. But if you're watching, if you've ever been through something like that, drop a comment. Let me know what you've been through. Let me know what you've been through. You've been through something like that. Save money, avoid debt, and invest in FDIC investments. The more boring, the more better. And free time work on skills makes it easier to job hop and do side work. Yep, and that's great point. That's what I did. I said, I gotta find something else. You can't be so wrapped up in your job. If you lose it, you're depressed. Like, damn, I don't have a job. You lose your identity. Not only do you have money, you feel like you lose your self-value. Like, dang, this is who I am. No, your job is what you do. And like Jojo said, you gotta invest. You do have to invest, but you don't want to go pull those. That's like, things got to be burning. If you're going to pull, cash out on your investments, the house got to be burning. So hopefully you never have to get to that. You got your emergency fund. You have your FU fund. You got your money that you pull from long before that happens. And like you said, you got to work on a side hustle. You got to work on something else. Even if it's not bringing you no money, it just keep you mentally, it keep the mental strain off of you for not, in between jobs. And you might mess around and make some money. So what happened was when I quit that last job, I went on unemployment for 6 months. Same thing, had money. But this time I went and started my business, started my financial literacy company, Stress Money Less. I was going to the SB Small Business Development Center. I was going like 3 days a week, 4 days a week. At this time, it was pre-COVID. So I was going there. They had like classes, teach you how to write a business plan, teach you how to market, teach you all this stuff. And it was free. So I'm like, man, this is dope. I did all that and it got me through to the next job. So I wasn't stressed and I was learning skill and I ended up making some money. I ended up making a workshop for some middle school kids in Compton. Went to a Compton Middle School and got a check. It was stress. Oh man, I can do this. Then I realized I maybe can't do this because it's really hard trying to run your own business. I didn't know enough. The bills were piling up and I had to get back to work. But I was able to take off 6 months and try to run and see what it's like to operate a business. And I'm like, oh man, this works. You just got to make money. So I changed how I thought. I changed my whole outlook on life. Now my job supports my business. Before I was just working to support myself. Now my job supports my business, and eventually my business will support me, and you won't need no job. That eventually happened. Gen Z's top career choice is social media influencer. What do you think about that? Is there job security and content creation? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think there's no and here's why. I don't think there's content job security and content creation because you're still an employee of those companies. For example, you'll mess around and get an email. Terms and conditions have changed. And everything will change. They can demonetize you. They can stop monetizing the channel. Look what's happened with Vine, gone. Snapchat, gone. What other ones? There's been other kind of platforms that they just don't last. Remember when Ustream started? Ustream was this thing. It's gone. Only thing I think is safe is like Patreon, where you have something where you can go directly to the viewer. That's the safest thing. If you got to rely on Instagram, because Instagram, they have an algorithm, they put your people out there. But if you got like Patreon, you come straight to my page. Or if I have a website, you can come straight there. But to rely on a social media platform to bridge you and the people, if they decide to take away you from the people, or you're doing something or saying something, or somebody starts reporting you, you can lose your money. And it turns back into having a job. Because if the platform says, we don't want you on here no more, you can't be on there no more, and you can't make no money. Think about when the government said they're gonna get rid of TikTok. I mean, if you didn't think about, well, if they do get rid of TikTok and this is my main form of income, then what? Because if you don't have the views no more, then the advertising money gets stepped up, dries up. Then you got to go back what the JoJo said. You got to go invest. You got to go invest. But while you're making money, the investment's making money from you on the back end. And then eventually, you get to the point where you got 100,000, 200,000, $1 million invested. You're straight. Your investments pay you, and you good to go. So to answer your question, I I don't think I wouldn't. I don't put no stock in it, and that's why you spread your stuff out across your social media sites. You got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What else? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So you spread it across all four because if one stops promoting your videos and the views stop, there's nothing you can do. All you can do is post. You post it, and the views come. And if they happen to block you between, they cut your views off. I've seen it happen. People talk about certain topics on YouTube and they demonetize your channel or demonetize the video. You can't make no money. You're stuck. And that's basically no security in that. They can pull you just like a job and you're stuck. If you become famous from influencing, can you save the money to do something else plus sell merch or a product or stack money? If you become famous and you make money from influencing, you should know enough people and make money off of relationships. That's one thing I do know from reading these books about wealthy people. Once you get to a certain point where you start meeting millionaires, they're going to introduce you to other opportunities that make a lot of money. I mean, think about it like this. Let's say I used to work at AutoZone. Now, working at AutoZone, these are my peers. I see these people 8-9 hours. We're all probably making $12, $13 an hour. There's not really many things and opportunities that we can provide for each other because we all, number one, we all work here. At any time, they can get rid of us and we're gone. Now, in a situation, if you're an influencer and you're famous, you got a lot of money. I'm not stuck at a job with a bunch of people. I'm out in the world moving around. I can have conversations with people. One thing people don't realize about having a 9-to-5 is you miss out on a lot of things that go on during the day while you're at work. People are touching hands, shaking hands, kissing babies, making money. And when you're an influencer, you know all these people. You got relationships with companies. I can reach out to a company. Hey, I can promote your product. I can reach out to some other people and partner up and we can make money. It's just more ways to make money when you're not stuck at the job because I can partner with somebody. Like if you got a job, I got a job. You can't come to my job and work. I can't come to your job and work. But if we're both like influencing, we can both make a video together and it can go viral. Or, I just have access to talking to anybody who I want to talk to and have multiple ways of making money. Because with the job, you get that check every 2 weeks, every 30 days, or every week. Other situations, it does, getting paid every 2 weeks, but those checks become bigger and it can become more frequent. So I think it's easier and better to cash bigger checks more often than to get the every 2 week check. That's what I think. So it's not necessarily the influence that gets you paid. It's just being known. I mean, being famous, you can promote products and you just know people. You're gonna bump shoulder. Like some people that wouldn't talk to you, they will talk to you now because you got a little money. And then y'all can go meet other people and make money. Shit. I mean, because people at the jobs, everybody's focused on work. We don't talk about making money. When it's lunch break, people talk about their kids. They talk about the weekend. Nobody talks about side hustles like that at the job. Like, nah. People think, oh, you might go tell on me, and they're going to think I'm trying to lead a job. So that's that. That is that. But yes, there's no job security, man. Let me tell you, there's no job security. The only security you got is your money. The security that you have is your money. You can be secure with the money. Because listen, your money won't fire you. You quit your job, okay, cool. Money, hey, I got you. I'll be here for you. What you need me to do, boss? You need me to go over there? You need me to go over here? What you need me to do? I work all night. I can work part-time. What you need me to do? My name is Money, and I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I work for you. That's it. I mean, if we all thought about it like that, who cares about the job? But you got to stack that money and save and live a certain way to get that way. You got to be debt-free. Debt-free. I mean, the opposite of debt is interest, because once I'm done paying the debt, I can get some interest now. I can get some dividends. So that's how that works, man. I don't. Hey, it's tough out here, man. I'm telling you, it sucks. It's a shitty situation to come in and you lost your job and you don't know where that next check is coming from. And you don't have enough money saved and you never thought about it. It's like I didn't think about this. I never thought this would happen. And you're frustrated with the job. You got to go find a new job. You're not getting one. It can be a lot on your emotions. It can be a lot on you. So having a side hustle, having something else, a hobby, something you can always invest your time into, um, it works out. I know me, I like to go step up my physical fitness. I go work out a lot more, do some more running, just do a lot more with get physically active, keeps my mind off of that stuff when I'm in those situations. So I don't feel like I'm stressed out. I don't feel like I'm just sitting around looking for a phone call from a job. Like, man. And then when I get a rejection email, it really like, dang, I didn't get it. No, I can't put myself in that position no more. I said, no, as long as I got money, none of that matters. As long as I got money, I'm straight. Started saving up, increased my emergency fund by a lot, by a whole lot. And I said, you know what? Whatever happens, I can ride this thing out. They let me go, fine. I can ride it out and I'll find something else. But I won't be sitting here depressed, upset, and having to go take a job that I don't want to make ends meet because I didn't take care of my money. That's what's not going to happen. It won't happen again, y'all. It won't happen again. All right, everybody. That's what we're going to talk about for that. We're going to move on to some interesting news. But I appreciate the comments. Let me know if you got a job experience, whatever you've been through. You ever had a job let you go? You weren't prepared for it? How did you handle it? What did you do? And a lot of times, hey, you got to remember that's the universe moving you on to something else. Because sometimes and listen here, this is the God honest truth. Every time I've gotten let go, I've done better in the next position. I've made more money. You make more money. Sometimes you don't want to leave. Like, I don't want to leave. It's going to leave you because there's more money out there for you. So sometimes you can't fight it. Can't fight the universe. Like, they're getting rid of me. Yeah, because I got this other bag over here for you. If you can't work both places, baby, I need you to come over here and get this big money. Leave that small money alone. And the universe, the good God will make that happen for you. All right, let's go to interesting news. I got some interesting news for you. Let's get these ads going. So we're about to go. Before you go, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go to cheapnotbroke.com. Grab you some merch. I got crew necks coming up. We're gonna have crew necks in the next 2 weeks. So this is about to get chilly. And about to get chilly. Now, some places still warm out here in California, but it is officially October. By November, you already know what time it's going to be. So head over to cheapnotbroke.com, grab your merch. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with some interesting news. All right, it is time for interesting news. Man, it's still October. It's October and it's still hurricane season. Got another Hurricane Milton. Got Hurricane Milton heading toward Florida. So if anybody down there in Florida, if you're down in Florida, in the South, anywhere, if you've been impacted by a hurricane, my blessings and shouts out to you. And anybody going to be impacted by this hurricane, shouts out to you. My family is down in Florida. I got a lot of family and friends in Florida. That's where my home is. So, man, this hurricane stuff it used to be over by October. By October, we were done. But it's still freaking active. So that lets you know things are changing because you would think around this time, seasons change, ocean cools off, all that stuff is done. But it's not. And yeah, we got to deal with that. So, if you're out there, you got, hurricane season, make sure you get your stuff prepared. Have all your batteries, whatever you need, have all that stuff prepared because you just want to be prepared for that kind of stuff. I saw what happened down in Tampa. Tampa was hit pretty hard. North Carolina, Asheville was hit pretty hard. So shout out to all the people with the hurricane stuff. And you know what? Something interesting about the hurricanes and all these natural disasters. Make sure you keep up with your insurance because sometimes They like to get funny when these natural disasters happen, and they don't want to pay out insurance policies. And you don't want that situation to be you. Uh, I just saw FEMA. FEMA said they don't have no money. FEMA said we don't have any money, which is a damn shame, which is a lie. The American government, remember this, everybody. The American government can cut a check for whatever it wants, whenever it wants, whenever it wants. The American government never runs out of money. So for them to say they don't have no money is a lie. They never do that. I'm over it. I'm over it. Hurricane season. Yes, over hurricane season. It's been a long season. I know you're ready for it to cool off down there, Miss Hall. Ready for it to cool off. Ready for hurricane season to be over. And it's a lot. It is a lot. These places are beautiful, but when this stuff comes around, it's no fun. So, everybody who's out there dealing with hurricane season, hope you're blessed, be safe, and all that stuff. And yeah, like I said, oh yeah, FEMA's running out of money. Not true. Get the money. If you run out of money, go get the money. Sign the check, declare national disaster, go get that money. That's what needs to happen. Where's my next article? Where's my next article? Crap. Man, let me see. Well, anyway, speaking of which, the workers went back on strike. I think we talked about that, covered that. Workers went back on strike, tentative till January. So they got to get this worked out by January, so nothing happened. So these people are still working. So basically, you're back to doing the same thing for 3 more months. They didn't increase pay. They didn't do anything. So, how do I feel about that? I think it's nice to have a union. I feel differently about unions now. I used to not be a fan of the unions, but now I think you should have a union because a union can do something. Here we go. A union can save. It could save you some headache. You got somebody fighting on your behalf because any other time, companies just fine and get rid of you. You got a union. They got to go through the union. They can't just let you go. It provides a little bit of safety, not 100% job security, but the union does help a little bit. Excuse me. But the union doesn't always, they don't always go to bat on your behalf. They don't always go get what you want. And you got to pay union dues. So, pros and cons. But I always see, well, now the police got a union, pilots got a union. I mean, if you work for an industry, they usually got a union. But in corporate America, there is no union. No union. They just get rid of everybody. Like this mass layoff, all the tech workers. No tech union. They just get the hell up out of there. Y'all, get up out of here. And that's that. Now these people are paid, a good bit of money so they can deal with it. But there's no safety in none of this stuff, man. Union, only thing that's safe is when you get a contract, and if they let you go or they decide to stop doing business with you, you pay me the remaining amount of my contract. Now that case, now you winning. Now it's like, hey, now think about this. When you sign the contract with your job, and let's say they let you go in March or April, and they had to pay you the remaining of your salary out for the year. Oh, none of us will have a problem with getting fired then. Okay, cool. Only time you have a problem getting fired is at the end of the year. You didn't get your salary renewed. So what they do? Oh, they fire everybody around December, January, because the new contract's up. That's that. But here's the thing: what you wouldn't do. I would sign a multi-year contract because if you fire me, you still gotta get payment. So fire me year 1, I still get owed year 2. So yeah, like college coaches, they get money when they let them guys go. They still get paid long after they're gone, which is nice. And let's see, last one I didn't send it to myself. 52-year-old worked 90 hours a week at an oil refinery to save money for his business. Now he's worth $9.5 billion. Todd Graves from Raising Cane's founder, CA Louisiana Fees, $5,500 litigation wage. He receives $500,000 donation from a Raising Cane's owner and the founder of Todd Graves Build. Oh my God. I can't read all that. Anyway, this guy, he this stuff be kind of convoluted. Because like I said, he worked at Raising Cane's, saved his money, worked 90 hours a week, and just became a $9.5 billion. It don't happen like that. You're going to need some relationships. You got to know some people. A lot of stuff got to go work out for you. And yes, this is he looks like a rich white man. He probably knew some rich people. I'm not saying you can't do it, but everybody's situation ain't that. You know how many more people would just do it if I can just go work 90 hours a week and just become a billionaire from selling chicken? Selling chicken? Come on, man. You got to have people invest in you. They got to believe in you. It's a lot of stuff that go on behind the business. But these headlines make it sound like 52-year-old worked 90 hours a week in an oil refinery to save money for his business. Now he's worth 9.5 billion. No, it didn't happen like that. 52-year-old worked 90 hours a week for how long? Where did he work for? How much did he save? What kind of business does he have? That's all that kind of stuff. If people tell me I'm trying to okay, here we go. He spent between $40,000 $50,000 of his own money plus roughly $100,000 from friends. He had friends with money and family from small business registration loan to get his restaurant off the ground, and said trading secrets founders. Today's Raising Cane's name Graves raised has more than 800 locations and has brought in 3.5 billion annually in net sales. Dang, he's worth more than the damn chain. He's worth 8.5. Yep, they opened their first relocation in Great Baton Rouge. Blah 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 blah. Listen, I listened to a podcast called How I Built This. Some of these, like the Chipotle owner, he started off $800, but they have friends and family who give them money. Everybody don't have friends and family with no money that can help them. But like you say, he went to Small Business Association and got a loan. There's ways to do it. It's ways to do it. It's just different for everybody. Everybody's not about to just do it like that. It's not that easy. But it can be done. But you just got to really study and listen to a lot of people who have done it to understand it. I read a lot of finance books. I've been cheating y'all. I'm back into my finance book. I'm reading a book right now called The Millionaire Next Door. If anybody wants to join me and read it, I'm reading a book about Millionaire Next Door, trying to learn how to become more efficient with the money that I have so I can make more on the back end, because we can all do better with the money. And one thing I can say is seeing your money, not just having a budget, like just visually looking at your money. Some people, their finances are looking at their checking account, looking at their accounts and doing everything in their head. And then you got all your stuff on auto pay. Some people don't have all their bills written out. Some way, you need to have all your bills written out, how much they are, just so you got a good idea what the hell is going on in your life. You'd be surprised how many people do not have a list of all the stuff they have, from Netflix to light bill, whatever, all the money that's going out every month. Some people don't have all that written down, and they don't know. All they know is they know how much they're getting paid. They really don't know how much they're spending. I just did a reconciliation on one of my credit cards. Realized, man, I'm spending $100 a month on auto pay. This stuff coming out automatically. I said, oh no, let me get rid of this and get rid of this. I got that thing down to $60, and I'm about to get it down to $45. All because I can look at it, I can see it, and I realize I'm not using this that much. Let me turn this off. But I got a list of all my bills written out all the time, so I can always see what makes sense, what don't, and how much it's costing me. You know, it's too hard to do all this financial calculations in your head. Yes, I work in accounting. Man, we got all kind of software for this stuff that makes life easy. But you got to have all that stuff written down somewhere, somehow, because then you won't know. Then if you lose your job, you won't know how much money you need to survive. And that's something you need to know. How much does it cost you to operate every month? Multiply that by 12. Then you'll know how much you need to survive in like something happens. You need to know that. Everybody need to know that. I got a spreadsheet. If you want to know, if you want it, drop a comment. Let me know. I would happily send it over to you. And I can go over it on here. I've been over it on here. I'll do it again. Every now and then I like to go over the spreadsheet, show you how I'm calculating my debt. I have this amazing debt calculator. It shows you how much principal, how much interest, what your payment is, and how much is actually going to principal and how much is going to interest. You can see everything. You know everything that's going on with your credit cards. So you're not just making a minimum payment. You know, oh, I just made the minimum payment of $300. It's actually only reducing the debt by $150 because the other $150 went towards interest. I got all that stuff for you. So if you want to know about that, let me know. Drop a comment, and I'd love to hear from you. All right, everybody. That is our show. Monday night. Job security is not safe. Thank you for our new followers. Gabe, I appreciate you. Jojo, I appreciate you. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hope we got some new users. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, baby. 20,000 subscribers. I'm at 1,380. Couple people subscribe. So let's try to cross that 1,400 mark by the end of the month. 20 more subscribers, I'll be at 1,400, which is huge. Big numbers to me. To somebody else, that's nothing. But to me, it means a whole lot. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate you all hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and just coming back. If you haven't, please go to my comedy page. Go to my comedy page, Malcolm Hall Comedy. Go subscribe there. Check out my stand-up comedy. I also got a new video up, Ciclavia, riding the bike through the Hollywood. Check that out. Got some new content up for you. And we're going to keep putting content out here. I'm working on getting the cooking show going, everybody. So I'm going to have the cooking show. I am going to cook live on here. So I'm getting that all together. I got to get my cameras and all that stuff. But we're going to do a live show and I'm going to cook because I'm currently I'm challenging myself right now to eat home for 30 days. I'm currently 3 days in. Not bad. Not bad. You gotta really get creative with the recipes because, man, if you can't cook, you get tired of that stuff. So right now I'm doing a 30-day eat at home challenge. If you'd like to join the challenge, please let me know. I will send recipes out. And matter of fact, I need to put that in the newsletter to get some more people to join the challenge. Send out my newsletter, send out some of the recipes, and let me know if you're cooking some of the stuff, it works. If it don't, it don't. But I'm on Pinterest right now. I'm creating this whole board of all the recipes that I have to make it easier to find things to eat. Because I realize a lot of the times when you spend a lot of money, you don't know what you want to eat. But if you have a whole list of recipes of what you're thinking about cooking, some stuff you already know how to make, you can get to it fast and save that money. My main man, Josh Brown, what's going on? The goal is to have multiple streams of passive income with either investments or a business. That is absolutely the goal. The goal is that, and you got to fund it with a job. But even still, with that job, you got to do something with that money to invest multiple streams of income. Look, the internet, the possibilities of making money are endless. You can have a day job and have a whole online business and be making a killing. You don't need to have a warehouse, have everything drop shipping. It's all out there. You can have an Amazon company. You can do a lot of stuff. Online business. It's just so many things you can do out here making money nowadays. And you don't have to have a brick and mortar store. You don't have to drive to nobody's part-time job. You can set up something on the internet and make money and sell products. I mean, I have my shop. I have my store. I have my merchandise on there. I have my courses on there. So yes, I have another stream of income. I have YouTube. It don't pay nothing right now. No, it don't. I have stand-up comedy. It don't pay that much. No, it don't. I have other streams of income. It's just them streams ain't streaming. They're not streaming. But that's okay. We're gonna keep at it and keep it going until we make it happen. I'm gonna keep on going until I make it happen. I appreciate everybody tuning in for the show tonight. We'll be back on Wednesday night for a Wednesday night rant. You know what it is. We got to rant on Wednesday. I don't know. Probably keep it job related. Keep it around this topic because I'm going to start covering more of this stuff. Savings, investments, and how we can do something. Because you know what? Wednesday, we got now that we put this out there, job security, what do we do about it? How do you save that money? How do you manage that money? And when these things happen, what do you do? We're going to talk about all that. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back on Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Rant. Thank you for my new people for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. And thank everybody for coming back. Josh Brown, Shauna, JoJo, Gabe A, all you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for commenting on the show. We'll be back Wednesday night rant. See you then. Take care.